Hey y'all, Supreme Rising everyone. Supreme Rising. I just came on here real quick to share something with you guys that came up in my mind. Supreme Rising. Oh, all right. So while this thing is brewing up, I just wanted to come on here real quick just to send some midday love and to encourage everybody to go out and get into that sun. Before I got into my car, I was just standing out there absorbing the sun and just taking it all in, and just grateful for the new energies that are here, that is providing all of this expansion of knowledge and awareness that I am so grateful for and thankful for. So I just wanted to put that out there, as that sense of gratitude for these beautiful energies that are here. Also, in the efforts of bringing us closer together in unity, I just wanted to put out there that everybody has their role. Everybody has their role, and whatever has cultivated them to be in their right now moment. But the one thing that I wanted to encourage this afternoon is to just do your shadow work. Just do your shadow work. Think about the things that are true to you, or question the things that you need to question within yourself, just to get you, to the next level in terms of yourself, the worthiness of yourself. Because we always have to value ourselves, our self-worth. How we value ourselves is the only thing that matters. It's how you value yourself, how someone else values you. Peace and love. I don't want to chop up your handle. In Wawanda, I know I said that wrong. Please forgive me. But peace unto you. Thank you for gracing this beautiful live with your beautiful energy. I appreciate it. But I just wanted to put out there that everybody has a role. Everybody has their place, right? And whatever cultivates them, right? But the only thing that I ask is that we consistently do our shadow work. Just consistently do our shadow work, ask ourselves the questions. Because what I'm coming to understand with these new energies, the way that I'm receiving it and how it's activating me, there's a great amount of peace and resolve that I get. I don't necessarily... I appreciate your energy the other day. I was deeply moved by your wisdom and understanding. Oh, gratitude. I appreciate you. It was just an energetic exchange. Like, we both complimented each other in that respect, because we were here. We were one in our thought process. So I take it as that's the reason why it just went as smoothly as it did. Because, we were one energetically in that respect. But gratitude, and I appreciate you as well too, God. I really truly do. Thank you. But, as I was saying, I just want everybody to know that you are the greatest thing. You are the best thing. And everybody is on many different pages in terms of how they understand things. And that's fine. That's okay, because we are all growing. But the reason why I am doing this live is to let us know that the energies are present. And the way that I'm receiving the energy rather, it is so loving. It is, I don't know, I'm just not really there in terms of the doom and gloom side of things. Like, I don't necessarily see it as a doom and gloom aspect or of anything. And I can't explain why I don't see it that way. And maybe it's a much deeper, part of me that needs to be discovered. But even with me looking at everything and hearing all of the concerns of everything, I still can't find that space of being angry. Because I think for me, what's resonating in frequency and energy, that all is resolved. And I'm at peace with the resolution of how it's going to be resolved, even with me not being able to articulate how that resolution is coming, but there's a knowing that all is already resolved. And the only thing that we're to do is to be who we are in the truth of that being. That's what I'm getting. I know many of you are getting, many different things, and a lot of, things that we're worried about and stuff like that. But it's just like at this point, when I see certain things that, the government puts out, or all of these stories that's put out, with the deaths and, the massacres and everything, I realize that that's just them, playing the same games over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what else to do. So they're just still using the same trickologies, to get us in a ruckus, to get us, out of ourselves, to keep us away from ourselves, because they understand that once we realize that it's just the same game, different day, and it only has the potency that we give it, then they'll stop playing it. So it's like, that's just where I'm at. They're just utilizing everything that they know how to use that has been, beneficial to them in their mind of what beneficial is. And now it's a wrap. Like, for me, it's a wrap. Like, I see through the lies. You know what I'm saying? I see through the game. So it's like, when I see the massacres, it's not that I'm not emotional about it. I just know that media is manipulated on every account. Think about it. There's so many different things that goes on in this world. There's a lot of things that goes on equally that is magnificent, that is good, that is positive, that is loving, that they don't air, that they're biased against. They will put out all of the negative stuff to keep you in fear, and the game is over on that. So when I hear all these things about the famines and all this other kind of stuff, I'm not moved by that, because I understand there's a part of me that knows that there's more good than the lies of the negative that they're trying to present us to believe, that there's more bad than good. In my heart, I feel that there is more good than bad. And the media and everything and all of the stories and everything that they put out there to be redundant over and over again is to get us in a state of mind to believe and think that there is more bad than good. But there's a part of me that I'm not moved by that. And because I realize in my heart that there's more good than bad. And the reason why I say that is this: because there's an aspect of the oneness that I move from, a space from the oneness. And I look at us as a collective, right? As a collective. Although that they have the ability to perceive, to like manipulate our minds because of the free will and duality of this plane, what remains absolute even in this dualities is nature, is the trees, right? The trees maintain itself in its integrity of the trees, and the only thing that changes the dynamic of that tree is by manipulation of like us, right? But everything else, especially if it grows naturally, it maintains its integrity, it maintains its absolute truth, right? So what that tells me, even if I just take away all of the people of the world, the trees and nature, right, is the closest thing to absolute truth, right? That they never really consider that because we've separated ourselves from it. So, and it still maintains its integrity of its absolution in terms of its presence, in its terms of its still being fruitful, still supplying, what they say, the oxygen and everything. So what that tells me, that there's more absolute energy, truth energy, than even if I took off all the people that are on this plane. So what that tells me, at a oneness level or at a majority level, that there is more good and there's more absolute truth that is on this plane than the lies that they try to present us to believe in. So because I'm moved in that energy, in connection with nature, and know that it's more of that than it is of us, and put that together, it still outweighs all of the negative that they're trying to get us to believe in, right? So that it can appear to be the reality, right? So I'm not moved by that. I'm not in that fear zone of anything. And even if, something does happen that we perceive as negative, I know that today I'm raising my vibration. If, tomorrow's expression is going to be a higher vibration. And the next day after that, my goal is to continuously raise my vibration, to raise my energy, to raise my sense of awareness, to continue to not be moved in fear, or to continue to not believe all of the negativity. Not to say that it doesn't have to spark a level of concern, but am I going to give it the energy to sustain itself if it's something that I don't want to see? And that's where I'm at now. I'm not going to expel or give energy to something that I don't want to see, that I don't want to have. And I understand that there has to be a balance in this level of duality. I do understand that, right? But as they present, the balance comes with them presenting the negative and me turn around bringing the positive, right? Me turn around bringing the positive energy of the negative that they are presenting. That's where I come in at to make the balance, right? And many of us are doing that just by us having, these lives and interacting with each other, right? So I just wanted to say that it's okay to be who you are. But always try to move in the true aspect of who you are, the truth of you. You're going to hear many variations, many different people and their perspectives and understanding. But that's okay. That's okay, because it's going to take the very thing that divided us is going to be the very thing that brings us back together. The only thing is that if we have those variations of beliefs and different things, is that we truly move in our true authenticity of ourselves, in our knowing aspect of our being. Right? That's the only thing, is that move from your own narrative and your own truth of knowing within yourself, even with you having a different, perspective of things. That's okay. That's okay, because we're about bringing the unity. And we realize when you come to the sense of awareness that you have so many different people with so many different perspectives, that's okay. It was built by design to be that way. That's why that it is. That's why it is. Right? But the thing that we can change in that is to have compassion for those who do have the many perspectives, and know that their perspectives is okay. But as long as that perspective is moved from the truth, their knowing, their being, the truth of them, because it's the truth of them that radiates the highest of frequency, is moving from a place of knowing that radiates the highest of frequency. And those high frequency in the conjunction of what is presenting itself in the nature of the absolute, right? Working in conjunction in frequency with that is the true power of the oneness. This is how I'm getting the understanding of it. This is how I'm getting, is for us to move, even though we are in many different perspectives, is to move from the truth and a knowing of our being, along with the absolute. The absolute are these trees and the natures and the animals and everything. They have always been true to the game. And how I see that is that a person had made a statement saying that out of everything that is on this planet, we are the only species that has to pay to eat, that has to pay to live, right? But everything else, right, doesn't have to pay to eat or pay to live, right? And that means that they're moving more closely into the absolute order. And this species, the human being, our species, is not. So what that tells me in terms of nature is that if we connect with nature, right, and move into our knowing, that is the truth. That is the greater of the power. We've always saw ourselves separate from that, and we thinking that, just the human beings are the power. No, it's everything, and everything that has been moving in its absolute that we have not necessarily migrated with in thought, right, have been there all along to support us. And we were far removed from it because we knew not of ourselves. So when they try to throw all of these negative things out there and stuff like that, and they try to burn down the forest, the disrespect to the nature and everything, just always know that it's more of us than it is of them. And the projection that they're trying to project out on us to say that it's more negative than it is positive, that those are lies, because the trees, nature, they have always been closest to the absolute truth, and we are connected to that. We just now have to move from our absolute truth. An orange tree bears blossoms, and when it wants to further express itself past the blossoms, it bears fruit as an extended expression of itself. So basically, we just have to look at ourselves and say, what is the extended expression of ourselves, right? in the respect of being in unity, in conjunction, in the oneness of all, because we are one with all. And the majority, once we become to realize that we are the majority, and these projections that they're putting on us for us to take into consideration, for them to harvest our energy, to bring it into fruition, to bring it into manifestation. Once we realize that it's more of us than it is of them, then maybe we'll be at this level of peace that I am, because what I've just explained to you is how I understand it. That's how I understand it, and that is what has brought me so much resolve. And I know that a lot of people might look at, oh, you got to put your combat gear on and you got to do all of that. And I'm not saying that that's not right, and I'm not saying that that's not wrong. Or what I'm saying that that's just not me. That's not where I'm at. I see it from a different set of eyes. My thing of it is, for me, is just being prepared energetically, vibrationally, and in frequency for whatever comes for me. And everybody's story is different, but I'm moving from my truth. I'm moving from my authenticity. And that is what is the rise in frequency, because I'm moving, and it has brought me resolve, and it has brought me peace. So whatever cultivates you, and if it's your peace, and if it brings you peace, and it brings you resolve, and it brings you understanding, that is what raises the vibration, because now you're moving from your authenticity, you're moving from truth, and then the frequency from that is a rise in frequency. It raises your vibration, because now you're moving from the truth of you, right? Whatever that narrative may be, you're moving from an energetic aspect of truth, right? You're moving from an energetic frequency aspect of knowing. And that is the true rise. So in frequency, in my opinion. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, that, everyone has their role into this whole aspect. Everyone has their role. Everyone has their role. But as long as the role that you are moving from is your truth, right? It's your truth. You're moving from your own narrative, right? You're moving from a place of knowing. And I think, in my opinion, I think that is the greatest thing. And that is what brought me the greatest of peace. And I wanted to share that with you guys. Yeah, because like I said, I'm becoming more in tune with nature. And like I said, these frequencies are off the chain. Like, I get it now. Like, I get it. Like, I'm getting it more and more, but I'm getting it now. Like, we've always been the majority. But we just never saw the tree in the manner to which we saw the tree, or we never saw nature into the manner to which we saw nature. And they have always been one with us, but we just hadn't been one with them, right? Because we were so distracted by so many things. We never thought that there was a union amongst us in nature with the trees, and they move. They are the ones that move. Nature move closest into its absolute, because it's still a tree. It still is an expression of what it is, or what it has been designed. And even when they try to burn down nature and everything, because it's one with its absolute, it regrows, it regenerates itself without any problems, without any effort, because it is one. It is one with itself. It has always been one with itself. That no matter how much they try to destroy it, or whatever the case may be, it regenerates itself, because it maintains itself in its absolute. So when I connect myself to nature now, I realize that these assholes are outnumbered. Those that are trying to move a force that is against the true force of what is supposed to be on this plane has always been outnumbered. But we just hadn't had the awareness of who we are, who we was at the core of our being, to make that association, right? And I could be out there. My thought process could be out there. But I'm just sharing it with you guys, because I realize that we have always had allies. The allies have always been nature. Nature is the closest thing to its absolute expression. Its absolute expression. It stays a tree. It stays a tree. It stays in its place. And it's always been our allies. And now I'm waking up enough to realize that they have always been outnumbered. They have always been outnumbered. We have always been one with these things. And nature has just been waiting on us to realize that. So when they tell you that it's more bad than good, it's a lie, because the tree is still a tree. and it's still a good tree, and it still produces what it is that it's supposed to produce. It still produces the energies and the frequencies that it's supposed to, even with the strain of frequency on this plane, right? The grass is still the grass. A horse is still a horse. A cow is still a cow. We have always been. We have always had allies. We have always had that frequency. We just wasn't aware of it. So when they try to tell you that it's more bad than good, that's not true. That's a lie. And now you'll be able to see through the lies and really see ourselves in the oneness, what the oneness really truly represents, and how powerful this mighty fist is versus how this can be infiltrated through division and separation, right? Now the power of that mighty fist that can strike a mighty blow, right, is now coming together as a collective, because now we're seeing that there can't be more bad than good, right? Because the trees are good. The you know, things that are around us in nature is good. And they are one with us, right? And even if we're no longer on this planet, nature still will reign. It still will reign, right? And it still will produce, right? Because it's moving more into the absolute value of its authenticity and its truth. And that's where we need to do. We need to move in the absolute value of our authenticity and our truth, from a place of knowing into this material expression of our being. So even if you are scattered, you know, in terms of many different perspectives, as long as that perspective that you have is from the truth of you, and if you have to question it, then all we have to do is just do the shadow work, right? And just let go what does not serve us, what does not serve you. And that's where I'm at. So I know a lot of people, you know, was like, you know, how, you got to be mad. No, I ain't got to be mad. All I got to do is be me. And whatever me is, that's all I have to be. It's the truth of me, right? Because that is the admittance of the frequency that I'm going to emit. The true of me, as long as that me has done the work, is doing the work, because we all have work that we have to do with ourselves. It's doing the work. And you see this book right here? I stay journaling, right? I stay journaling. I've shown you guys this is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but let me try to get to it. I stay journaling, right? I stay journaling, right? For my growth, for the evolution of what it is that I'm trying to achieve energetically and vibrationally, to be what I want to see, for others, you know, to get the energies and the feels of what it is I'm emitting, without them even having, you know, to visibly see me. You know, because energy travels. Energy is emitted when you have a cell phone and it's going out to the towers. Energy is in the atmosphere. So I don't even have to be next to you in order to vibrate and someone else be affected positively by my vibration. All I have to do is just do the work, do the healing, right? Stay true to me. Stay in my truth. Stay in my peace, because that emits high frequency. Stay in my peace, right? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the lies, right? Because when you hear certain things and you raise yourself and you hear certain things, you instantly know that it's not true, right? So I just wanted to put that energy out there amongst you guys, something to take into consideration. Always stay true to you. Always, you know, be the best version of yourself. You know, and it's not for nobody to judge, you know, because we all are here and we all have a purpose, however great or however small, we all have a purpose, right? And everybody's purpose is important, right? And I just wanted to put that out there. I love you guys immensely. I will always love you. I just felt amazing. Like these energies, guys, I'm telling you, these energies are amazing. You know, are you guys feeling it? If you guys are feeling these energies, drop some nines. Let's show some respect to the frequencies and the energies that are coming on this plane, that are waking many of us, awakening, and to have, because I know this what I'm getting and how I'm visualizing and what I'm receiving, this is energies. These are energies. These are gratitude for the nines. These are energies. These are energies. Healing energies that we are receiving. And I was out there in the sun, and I was in the sun yesterday, and I was looking straight into the sun, and I could clearly see the disk of the sun without flinching. And I said, oh yeah, these energies are here. I can clearly see into the disk of the sun without flinching, without even squinching my eyes or anything. These energies are here. And I just want you guys, just feel it and go out there in that sun whenever you get a chance. And just, this is why I put my face into the sun, because it seems like that's where I absorb the most. Like it does this rejuvenation, and it's healing. And I noticed that even in my body, it's healing, and it's just beautiful, and there's such a clarity, and it's getting to the point where they can't even hide the sun anymore, and they try. From the rising to the setting, you can see where the clouds, they see the clouds to cover the sun where I'm at, right? And the sun still burns it off, to the point you can see the rays just coming out of the clouds. Like, you can't F with me. I'm the sun. What about the moon? Well, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about the moon. The moon has a significance, right? The true moon has a significance, the real true moon. But there's a lot of manipulation that goes on about the moon, and I don't really have a full scope of clarity about the moon like that to be versed about the moon, because and what that tells me is that the moon is not for me, right? Don't get it twisted. I'm sure that if I really want to know about the moon, I can get the information about the moon, but I never really was drawn to it in that respect. And I can't explain that. I can't explain that right now. I never was drawn to the moon, although a lot of times people say the moon has a significance, and I won't doubt that, because, you know, for the fact that it's being said, that means that it's true. I don't doubt that, but it's never really been a significance for me. I know a lot of times people talk about the blood moon and everything like that, and I know that it has some significance, but I'm more apt towards the sun. You know, I guess I'm partial to something. I'm partial to the sun, right? But I'll take I'll go deep within to really get some information about the moon. I can't really tell you about how I feel about the moon. I know that it has some levels of significance. I used to follow the sun. Yeah. I mean, it's choice. Right here in this duality, we have the ability to move in free will, right? So if you are moving in your free will, has gotten you there. As long as you're moving in your truth and your authenticity, I think that's what's important, because at the end of the day, there's order, right? And you just have to, you decide what a part of the order you want to be a part of, right? And that's just that's how I see that there's order in everything. Right? So, you know, I know that really didn't answer your question, but I gave you, you know, what I could give you in terms of the truth of myself, right? It is what it is with that. It is, but thank you for your question. I appreciate it. I really, truly do. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, you guys. I didn't mean for this video to be so long-winded, but I just wanted, the most important thing that I wanted to put out there, and I'm gonna say this in the end of this live, is go out there into the sun and absorb the keys, the activation keys. Because for me, speaking from a place of doing so, it's a beautiful thing. It has been such a beautiful experience. It is a beautiful experience. And go and get those keys that will unlock this sense of awareness, right? That's the most important thing. And secondly, but not, it's equally important, everybody has a space and a place, and their perspective is okay, as long as their perspective is moving from a place of truth and authenticity. We don't have to fuss. We don't have to fight. We don't have to do any of those things. All we have to do is determine if it serves us purpose or not. And if it doesn't serve us, it's okay to just walk away from it and move on to something that does serve your purpose. Because, you know, we are all energetic fields and we all have our gravitation. You are what you get. You are what you get. You are whatever you are. That's what you're going to see around you, energetically and vibrationally. So it's not nobody else's fault. It's you telling you something about yourself. And if you want to express something different, then you have to do something different. You have to do something different if you want to have a different expression of yourself in this material plane. Because everything that is around you, everything that you are attracting, if you are attracting bad news, bad information, I don't attract those things, right? I'm not attracting those things, right? So you are what you get. If you are war and you have this war, you're going to see a lot of war. You're going to see things that has that energy of war. That's going to be, you know, a part of your reality because it's a part of your faculty, right? So if it's a part of your faculty, then it's going to be a part of your reality, right? If you don't want to see war, then you're going to put that energy out there and start to become what it is that you want to see outside of war. It's really just that simple. So when they project all those things to try to make those things the truth, it doesn't have to be the truth unless you decide that you want it to be the truth of your world within your world. And I may live in what's that movie, The Wizard of Oz? I may live in a fantasy, but it's my world. It's my world. And I realize that I have control over my world and what it is that I want to see. That's the difference. I'm not moved by external things. I'm gradually growing out of that because I realize that has been more of a disservice of what it is that I would really truly want to see of myself and what it is that I want to truly see of others. And for me, I'm that love energy. I am 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 here to restore just by being. Because when I say that I love you, I really truly do. Without even being able to explain how that is, I just know that it is. I love you. So with that being said, peace be unto you all. I salute to the divinity within you. You are the greatest thing since anything. You are greater than any lie that you have ever been told. You are greater than your traumas. You are greater than any bad experience that you have ever had. You are thebomb.com. And this world doesn't rotate without you. That's the truth. We are a collective mind and a collective consciousness. And you are so very much important and you are so very much valued. And I will always see the highness in you and I will always salute to the divinity within you. And I just wanted to say that because I'm saying that in every live because I want us to realize how important we are, and we don't have to be in the lies. We can start now see through the lies, just like my girl. She has her title. Her handle is see through the lies. So we'll be able to see through the lies. You all are amazing beings. And just be more amazing in your truth, your narrative. All right, that supports that truth. All right. I love you guys. I love you immensely. And I shall talk to you guys later.